everyone. This is Dr. Priyanka Mehta, gynecologist and women's health expert, in conversation with Dr. Balu, who's an emotional wellness expert and a psychiatrist from London. We are here to talk to you about puberty. Puberty, simple as it sounds, can get a little complicated at times. So, we are here with a 5-part video conversational series to bring about various aspects of puberty and how to make it easier for parents and for children. So, in this first part, let's talk about why should parents talk to their kids about puberty. So, puberty is very simple, but at the same time, it can be really complicated. And parents often hesitate to talk to their children about puberty. Parents, even though they are there for their children all the time, I mean, there is no parent who would say that I am not going to be there for my child for either his graduation or when it is first day of school or when your child is having, an important occasion like their marriage or childbirth and so many other things. But for such an important event like puberty, parents somehow either hesitate or they are a little scared or they are very awkward to face the puberty with the child. And because of that, child feels alone, unsupported, and sometimes they are so confused regarding puberty itself.
Mm. Now, this is a very important topic, and I'm glad that you brought this up. Like you mentioned, there is a mechanics of what a child goes through during those years, but it's also about how to communicate and make it sound a bit more acceptable and normal, not stigmatize it. There is nothing to be embarrassed about. So you mentioned a very interesting point that parents are there for their children and they want to be there for their children. But I was also reading that 60 to 70% of parents find it embarrassing to talk to their children about these changes, which happens in a very crucial time of their life. What do you think is probably driving that? Why do you think parents are anxious or
Exactly.
embarrassed?
So that's such a big number. I mean, if 60 to 70%, more than half of the parents are either not talking to their children about puberty or they're hesitating or they're kind of scared to talk to their, sometimes even that happens. So I think it's because parents feel that when they were children, they themselves were not formally told about puberty by their parents, or if they start talking to the child about puberty, maybe it would instill certain ideas in the child's mind and brain, which a parent would feel is the child is too young. Because when you even look at whatever media the child is exposed to, you have movies or you have these TV shows which are either 13 plus or 16 plus. So parents themselves feel that because even when at television you have these restrictions everywhere, so if I am going to start talking to my child about, say, different parts of the body, or about something like contraception, or something about how your body is changing, or about period, so is it the right age, or am I doing the right thing? Am I going to is the child going to develop interest in certain things which parents will themselves find either uncomfortable to start talking about, or they feel that maybe the child is going to learn in school, because they think, okay, a child is going to have these classes and in that they would learn about what is puberty and what is the, say, for girls what is the periods, or for boys about how their organs are growing and how things are happening. So when the parent is, suddenly a child comes up with a question, like, say, they're watching a movie and the child is asking what is a condom or what is lesbian, or things like this, parents are just taken aback. In fact, sometimes they even get very aggressive and angry at the child as to why are you, watching all these, it's kind of, they kind of say that it's a dirty stuff, or, you're too young to know this. And they just put the question away. They never are able to address the question.
Sounds like there are multiple issues there. One is about knowing what exactly to say, that using the right language. It's also addressing their own fears that a talk around this issue could lead to harmful consequences. It's their own belief systems, so addressing some of that and their mindset. That's very important. So In terms of issues that you face, without this, have you seen any, as a practicing physicians, have you seen any issues where, people haven't had this conversation and they've ended up having some problems? Is there something that you could throw some light on, which would emphasize the point, why the parents should, make it a point to at least approach this subject very sensitively?
Yeah, it does happen in gynae practice. Like sometimes if a girl, say for example, is not being able to share about her either getting the periods very early or not getting her periods at all, and sometimes it becomes a little late, and like if they are 16 plus and they haven't started their period, they don't tell, or there is some physical problem which they're not able to share because they're scared that if they share this, parents may think that they are kind of doing the wrong thing, or even sometimes there is some kind of abuse and the child is not able to share it because they're kind of scared, because the parent, mother or father, is never spoken to them about that, so they think that it's their mistake or their fault. So
Yeah.
I mean, it is important that parents at least at some point of time just start the conversation and start the topic with their child.
So it sounds like it's a very, very important thing for the parents to be addressing with their children. So perhaps we need to then probably empower the parents to go about this in a way that's more
How to do.
acceptable. Yeah, so how to do it, and then maybe in the future series that we can think about what to say, who's going to say it, when should the child be taught
So
about
true.
these things, any age that they can use to facilitate conversation. So I think, yeah, no, I'm excited that we will be able to share some of these tips from our learnings, and hope many parents are empowered by this conversation. So we will record the next one, which will be on how to
How.
go about this very important things. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.